What is going on, everybody in Mask Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing the full review for the Galaxy A71 5G UW. Now this is the Verizon variant of the device. Want to see how good it is? Stay tuned. So Mask Squad, as I said in the intro of this video here, this is going to be the full review for the Galaxy A71 5G UW. And yes, that is quite a long name, but the UW does stand for ultra wideband, in case you were wondering. Devices with that brand is usually going to be 5G devices that's going to have connection or be able to connect to the Verizon's 5G network. That's all that really means. This device does feature the Snapdragon 765G processor inside. So it is technically one of those upper mid-range phones. It's in that category, and yeah, it performs just like that. Going into the specifications for this device here, with the Galaxy A71 5G UW, you're going to have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, and the device is also going to feature Android 10 with security patch of October 1st, 2020. And looking at some other specifications, the Galaxy A71 5G features a 6.7-inch Full HD display that's Super AMOLED. And when I say this device has a crispy screen, it is crispy. Absolutely beautiful from every angle. It gets really bright. There's an overall really nice screen. Now you're also going to feature a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. On the bottom of the device, you're going to have a USB Type-C port for your quick charge. You're going to have a headphone jack, and you're also going to have a loud speaker. No dual speakers on this device, unfortunately. And if you look at the top of the phone here, you're going to see a microphone cutout. You're also going to have the SIM tray slot where you can expand the storage of the device and of course put your SIM card inside. Now if you look along the right side of the device, you're going to have your power button, your volume up and down keys. And on the left side, you're going to have nothing. It's actually quite clean over here. It looks really nice. And if you look at the rear of the device, you're going to have quad cameras. A quad camera setup on the Galaxy A71 featuring a 64 megapixel wide standard camera. So that's your primary camera. You're going to be using this one pretty much 9 times out of 10 times. You're going to have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and you have 2 more cameras after that. You have a 5 megapixel depth sensor, and then you have a 5 megapixel macro sensor. Now those 2 additional cameras, as far as the depth and the macro sensor, are those going to be good and useful features? Yes, if you actually take the time to actually use them, but if you're not a person who's big on like photography in general, taking nice macro shots or anything of that nature, then that's not really going to matter to you. What's going to matter to you is the main sensors on the back. Now looking around to the front of the device with that beautiful display, you're going to have a 32 megapixel selfie cam that's capable of shooting 4K video at 30 frames per second, along with 1080p at 60 and 30 as well. Being that it's in the upper mid-range territory, it's kind of impressive that the device can feature a front-facing camera that can record at that resolution. So being that we went over the specifications for the Galaxy A71 5G here, let's go ahead and talk about the overall performance. Now with the 765G, it's not going to be a flagship processor, so if you're a person who likes to game a lot on the device, when it comes to, Asphalt 9, Call of Duty Mobile, things of that nature, it's not going to perform as well as a device that would have a flagship processor, of course, but nonetheless, it does perform pretty well. So you guys, I'm a YouTuber here.
What?
And I edit a lot of my thumbnails here on the Galaxy A71. I also take a lot of my pictures with the Galaxy A71 because I recently just got it, and I had the plan of switching the Galaxy A71 for my main YouTube camera here out for the LG G8 ThinQ, which I have currently recording this video right now. So yes, I guess you can imagine that the Snapdragon 765G and 8 gigs of RAM along with 128 gigs of internal storage is going to perform pretty well, and you guessed correctly. Another thing that's really good in the Galaxy A71 is the battery life. And as I mentioned earlier, the device features a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, and it does have quick charge 4.0 or 25 watt fast charge, of course, and it charges extremely fast. But when it comes to using a device throughout the day, the Galaxy A71 is definitely going to last you as long as you're not trying to heavily use it too crazy. Like watching 10 hours of YouTube straight or 6 hours streaming on Twitch, things like that with the brightness at 100%, it's not going to last as long. But if you're trying to get through the day, if you put it on about 40 to 50% brightness, you're definitely going to last throughout the day, no issues. I got cases of getting about 7 hours of screen on time with the Galaxy A71. I even had some when I got 8 hours of screen on time. Now, my usage is not going to be the same as yours, so depending on what you do with the Galaxy A71 5G here, you're probably not going to have as long as I did. But I had it on the mobile network, connected to the mobile network. I was using 5G when the 5G update came to the device. Yeah, I was using this phone pretty heavy, and it was still able to last a pretty long time. Now, another cool thing about the Galaxy A71 is how it looks and feels. Now, the device does feature a cool color. It's almost like a rainbow effect. It just basically changes color in the light, and you see multiple colors on the back of it. I believe it is plastic, of course, but you know, it still looks pretty good. And the actual feel of the phone, it is a pretty slim phone, but it does feature, like I said, plastic on the back, but it is a metal or aluminum unibody. So the actual phone is made of metal as far as the body of it, but the front and back is glass and plastic, of course. So if you have small hands, you're probably not going to like the Galaxy A71 here. It does look quite similar to the Note with how the actual screen and everything is set up and how small the bezels is on the device. But it is a pretty big phone, and one of those phones where if you drop it, you may actually damage it, of course. It has the hump of the camera, which isn't too great, but it does stick out somewhat. And so if you actually do drop this device on the camera, you can guarantee that it will break. But me, I actually got a screen protector that came with a camera protector and a regular screen protector. So I got double the protection just in case anything weird happens, because if you're new to the channel here, I had a really bad experience with Gorilla Glass as far as not rocking the screen protector on the device, and it shattered in a million pieces, and I was pretty upset. Now, if you're a person who's interested in this kind of information here, I'm going to go over the AnTuTu benchmark numbers, the Geekbench numbers, just to give you guys an overall idea of what this device can score like. So with the Galaxy A71 here, the most recent test that I took with the AnTuTu benchmark, I got a score of 309,377, which is a pretty good score for the device with the specifications that this one has. Similar with Geekbench 5, I got a single core score of 603 and a multi-core score of 1,746. When it comes to opening up applications, editing photos, even if you want to edit videos on this device here, you're not going to have a problem with it at all. It definitely has a good amount of power under the hood. So yes, the device does feature a headphone jack, which audio coming from it does sound pretty good. It doesn't sound as good as my LG G8 because it has that quad DAC, of course, but it does actually, you know, sound pretty good. You're not going to be upset with it at all. Now, when it comes to playing audio from the loudspeaker here of the device, yes, you're probably not going to be that much of a fan of it. It does sound pretty good. It's just a lot of devices these days are coming out with dual speakers, even the budget category. So the fact that this device doesn't have one puts it on a certain list for me, and I'm not really a fan of it. So cameras on the Galaxy A71. So as I said earlier, you feature a quad camera setup on the rear of the Galaxy A71. And it's going to be a 64 megapixel standard lens, or basically a wide lens for the Galaxy A71 that can shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second. It can also shoot 1080p at 60, 30, and it also goes down to 720p as well. Now you got a bunch of different camera features on this device. You can use slow motion, you can use night mode on the device, food, macro, super slow motion, you get live focus as well. So a lot of features when it comes to camera on this device here. But you also feature a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera that is capable of shooting 4K video at 30 frames per second, and then 1080p at 30 as well. No 1080p 60. Unfortunately, the device does not feature that. And so overall, photos and videos does come out really well with the rear camera. You're not going to be upset at all. Put it on a tripod, you're going to be even more impressed. It does have a stabilization mode that only works at 1080p 30 frames per second. So if you're a person that's looking for that, you know, you have that option. But as far as 4K, none of that exists. Taking selfies with the front facing camera, you're going to be pretty happy with that as well. Really, really high resolution shots. If you ask me, probably one of the best front facing cameras I've ever seen on a phone. For me personally, I haven't had a ton of phones. Well, I had a lot, but I haven't had a lot that had a really good front facing camera, and the Galaxy A71 is definitely on the top of that list. So key things with the Galaxy A71, you have an absolutely beautiful display. You will never get tired of looking at this thing. The cameras on the rear are really, really good. And then to complement everything else, you get a Snapdragon 765 inside, along with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. So as far as efficiency and battery life, you're going to be pretty much happy with that. And performance overall, you're going to be happy with that as well. And I decided to go ahead and upgrade to this device here. And I got it at the price of $599. Is it worth that price? I would say so. Absolutely. You don't need 5G right now, but in my area, my local area here, I'm able to get 5G access. And so that's why it wasn't a problem for me, because I am using 5G on the daily basis at my house and at work. So Mask Squad, let me know in the comment section below, do you think the Galaxy A71 is worth the price that I paid for it? I believe it is. If not, let me know. And if you are new to the channel here, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any coverage when it comes to mid-range or upper mid-range devices like the Galaxy A71 5G. And Mac Squad, like this video here so that other people just like you can get a little bit more help when it comes to researching upper mid-range devices like the Galaxy A71 5G. And then you get to see cool review videos, speed test videos, gaming videos, all that stuff, and it just makes sense. And last but not least, share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.